What's up, Isaiah? I think we know why we're here today. So this guy right here, pretty much from the bottom all the way to the top, he got his invite.
Yes, I did. I was at the very bottom table, and I managed to climb all the way back to the top.
Just in time to get his invite over at the Vancouver... Is it YCS?
It's the regionals.
Vancouver Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals. He got it, so he's going to show you what he played.
Yeah.
I know, of course, we're going to have our post-game interview right after, but let's get into the deck profile. Isaiah, after many hard-fought battles, the trials and tribulations, this is the deck that brought you victory for your invites placements at Texas. The vlog is coming soon. Also, the vlog for the Vancouver Regionals also coming soon. So, yeah, let's start with the main deck.
Alrighty. So, it's all pretty standard. The 3 Pydra. It's 3 Pydra, it's 3 Tundra, and the 2 Fadra. Haven't changed since my locals deck profile when I got first there. It's all the same. Pretty standard. 3 summoning standard, 3 Kaiman standard, 3 pot standard, and terraforming all standard. It's like every Tenpai list. It's all pretty much
It's pretty
the same.
straightforward.
But it's good we have this small little engine here because we have room for so much non-engine. And of course, when info comes out, it'll change. But that's what it is for now.
Any changes for Terminal's Revenge or might stay the same?
I'll stay the same.
Okay.
I think the Tenpai ratios will always stay the same until we get the new Yellow Dragon and Poki. So for board breakers, we're going to start with Fenrir right here. I learned a lesson where if you were to side out Fenrir, you side out all 3. However, I was told by some of the CWG members to keep
CWG!
it in. Yeah. But yeah, so all the other Tenpai guys, shout out Bobby, Rhinix, Prab, all of us, like, they told me to actually keep it in for a lot of the things. I used to be siding it out a lot, but now keeping it in actually helps so much because it puts in a little bit extra damage when you can't get that damage, gets rid of floodgates, stops things like Necro Valley, because Necro Valley stops you, so, yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Good card.
It baited a lot, too. I actually had like 1 or 2 people actually Ash the Fenrir, or Veiler the Fenrir, which helped me so much, so it's such a good card. Next for the board breakers, Droplet, because it's so hard! It goes so hard! But yeah, Droplet is good. I might switch builds. I found that Shifter was doing a little bit better for me, and half of my wins were Shifter. As much as I love Droplets, I'm probably going to switch up this build again. But yeah, but it's still a good card, still very good. I wish I could see it more often than I did. I actually didn't see it as much as I wanted it to, but I still think it's a great card. Then we got Duster, classic board breaker, but instead of Lightning Storms, I went with the 2 Cosmics. I was talking with the CWG members again. Cosmic is actually really good against the Tenpai Mirror, and if you already use your Nib/Bestial, your Lightning Storm is kind of useless. So Cosmic kind of breaks you out of that, and a lot of people don't see it coming in the main. So this is a really good addition, I think. It really fixed a lot of problems I had with a Lightning Storm.
Awesome.
Alright, and of course the fun part of Tenpai, the best Tenpai cards, hand traps. Ash is like the best hand trap.
Yeah.
Helped me in so many games, helped against pretty much every meta deck. This will never change. It'll be 3 Ash unless they hit it. The 2 Ogre, Ogre's good too. It was really good against VV in my very last match, mainly because of the spell and traps. Like you just get
the continuous, those are their powerful plays. Yeah,
so Ogre too good. I never ogred a Tenpai player. I wish I did see it during the 1 Tenpai match I had. But yeah, that was good. And the last Ghost Girl, we got Mourner. I don't have the secret. They're all the other one's a secret. I'm still looking for the secret.
We'll find that for you.
It'll change.
We'll find it.
But yeah, the 1 Mourner is actually clutch, mainly because if I've don't know what to side out. I side out some Veilers and I keep Mourner in because Mourner works under Shifter. And I did use Mourner quite a bit. It's a good card, but it is a one-of because it only works on special summon monsters. Veiler.
You got the secrets now.
Yeah. This was really funny during one of my games. It was during my VV match in the final round. I drew 3 Veilers and I used all 3 of them on his turn. So
that is crazy. That is crazy.
It was just unfortunate that I drew all 3. It was really good. But yeah, Veilers, just like Ash, too good. Then we got Nib. I used Nib against my Snake Eye matches. I used it against Salad. I just think Nib is a very good card, very underrated, and a lot less people are respecting it. Mainly because everyone's siding Nib, so if you main it, they don't see it coming. Especially that I'm rolling to go second, Nib is just too good. The one Mag, Mag is always good. I would run it at more if I could, but
it's limited.
Yeah, exactly, it's limited. And my favorite hand trap, Imperm. It's just good.
It's good.
It's good going first.
It's a big 3.
Second.
Ash Veiler Imperm.
Ash Veiler Imperm. But I've never taken out Imperm. I never sided it out. It's always good. Always good in the deck. But yeah, that's 22 main. Of course, things are going to change. But yeah, or not 20, 42. It's 42 main.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, of course, like things are going to change. And I still think it's a pretty good deck.
Okay, extra deck time.
So extra deck, standard. It's not gonna change, I don't think.
No, it's the big 4 of
I
Tenpai.
was tempted to put in another one of these because I thought I was gonna see a lot more cash because the cash rip. But I didn't see cash at all, so that was fine. Maybe during Nats, I might put in a second one. Because I do respect the cash engine a lot. I think it's so hard to get over.
It's pretty a resilient deck if you think about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when they summon Fenrir and it's just like, do I stop that? I don't know. But most decks you don't. But of course, if they're running the cash engine, then a lot of things come into question.
Yeah, for sure.
MVP right here, Meteor Burst.
Oh.
I've made this in main phase 1 so many times. Especially if my opponent bricks, they play like 1 or 2 cards. I know the rest of their hand are probably hand traps. Once you make Meteor Burst, it's all dead.
Yeah, they can't use Ash. Exactly.
I versed the Melodious deck. They couldn't extend. They passed it to me. They had 4 cards in hand. I made Meteor Burst. They insta-scooped, and I saw like DD Crow, Ash, Veiler, and it was just like, okay, well, that's a little rough. Second, Samurai Destroyer. I took out my Moonlight for Samurai Destroyer, and it is 100% worth it. I was during the Tenpai mirror, used Samurai Destroyer, attack into this thing, it negates it, Samurai Destroyer dies, then you just full combo. I think Samurai Destroyer is very underrated. Didn't see Purely once, but I do...
But you don't regret taking out the Moonlight for this.
Yeah, exactly. I do not regret taking out Moonlight. I think Samurai Destroyer is way too broken. Just remember that if you're Dragon Locked, you can't summon it. But yeah, other than that, Samurai Destroyer is so good. Black Rose. Didn't make it once, but it does come up in locals a lot. And I didn't verse any Runic.
The nuke is always good. So.
Yeah, exactly. Unstoppable nuke is always fun. And the Kui Belt, which I did use a lot actually. I out of all my synchros, I didn't use Black Rose, but all of them I used them all. And it was pretty insane actually. But yeah. Next up, we got the Link Monsters.
Spears.
So Seals, I was running 2. I kind of wish I did run 2 for the tournament. Mainly because it did come up where I'm like, oh, I don't have a second Seals. Because there are moments where you don't OTK, right? And then you kind of just have to make the second Seals, and I still won those games. But yeah, it does come up where like it'd be a lot better if I had a second Seals. But I feel like 1 is pretty strong, honestly. I think 1 is good enough. If you want to make room for other cards, 1 is just fine. Next up, we got Princess
Promethean.
and Hita. Didn't make them once. They were cross targets the entire time. But I still think you should keep them in the main just because it comes up.
Yeah, it's a fire deck, so these two are like
Yeah, exactly.
special status for that.
Yeah, they're really good. Especially if you get Ashed, then you got Hida material. Or you got Hida to revive for Princess. Doolittle. I know last time I said I would take it out. I didn't take it out. It might be Seals, who knows? But I didn't use it once. Once again, there was a Seals target. More Seals targets, funny enough. Usually go into Striker Dragon to go into SP, which I also didn't do at all. It was like all synchro plays the entire time. That's the MVP of the deck. Typhon. I think Typhon is nuts. I think it's mandatory in Tenpai. It saves you from dying so many times. The bounce helps a lot. Typhon is just cracked, honestly. I think it's just too nuts. It saved me a bunch, especially if you drain your opponent with all the hand traps you have, and then you just slap a Typhon on board. It's just so hard to get over. I think Typhon is too nuts.
It's a good card.
Yeah, honestly, it's if you don't want to buy it, I do recommend buying it. It's worth the investment. This will win you games. Like sometimes if you just draw hand traps. They summon at least two extra deck. You just normal one of your hand traps, make a Typhon, and then like you can live on it. It happens during my time at the regionals where I just made Typhon and I survived, and then I won the game. I just directed 3 times the Typhon. It came up and it was pretty good.
Awesome. Finally, the side deck. Let's see what kind of techs he has. Subject to change.
Yeah, of course. Best hand trap in the extra. 100% shifter. I will probably main it. This stole so many games for me. Stole games from my opponent. Where I would just shifter, they would brick, they would say pass, and then it was like, okay, then you just OTK. I think shifter is too good. It's like, honestly, I should have made it. A lot of times, I lost my game 1 because I didn't have shifter. I will probably be in the main. It's too good. Next card, DD Crow, which came up a lot too. DD Crow is actually so good when you target Grave, or if you know they have a piece in Grave that they'll use for sure. DD Crow is there to stop it. It was a debate of Mourner or Crow. I feel like they both have their ups and downs.
Yeah.
But I'm more comfortable using Crow, mainly because I could just pick whatever's in the grave.
As long as you have the knowledge to know which piece to hit, then you can steal a turn from them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mourner negates, which is really good. I think Crow is cracked. And these are 2 more copies of Crow if I was versing a lighter dark deck. Druid Worm came up against my Yubel matchup. Druid Worm is 2 nuts. And yeah. The third nib. So, a funny story about this. I had one rivalry and I could not find it. I was looking everywhere.
I even helped him to try to find it.
Yeah, I don't know where I put it. I was talking with the other guys. They told me to put in the third nib into the side. And I was like, it should be a rivalry. So I was running around looking for a rivalry. I couldn't find it, so I was like, whatever, it's screwed. It's just the nib now. So then I did. I put in the nib. And that was the best thing. Me losing that rivalry was the best thing that ever happened because I would need the third nib for a lot of the time. I needed the extra copy of nib in order for me to see it because it did come up so much. I'd versed 2 snake decks and it came up almost every game. So I don't know if it was specifically this copy of nib, but whatever it is, I was able to see it a lot easier. 3 Eclipse might change. I wish I saw it. Every time I signed it in, I didn't see it at all, which kind of sucked. Because there was moments where I needed it. I did verse a Dragoon Turbo deck, which was kind of painful, and I was like, "Where's the Eclipse? Where's the Eclipse?" I didn't see it once, so a little rough.
It is.
The 2 Storms. I only saw it once when I signed it in. I used Cosmix a bit more, but when Lightning Storm resolves. It's hard. It's
a good card.
It Lightning Storm for what it is. And the last card is the 3rd Cyclone, which I did side in quite a lot, and I did see it a lot more. And it's like running one-ons on the side is like a little bit shaky, especially if it's like the nib and the Cyclone. But the 3rd copy actually boosted the ratio up. So, and I actually really needed to see these in the games I sided them in, and I did. So I know running one on the side is a little odd, but it is super worth it.
Sometimes it's like that third that comes up, it's gonna help you all the way through.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So yeah, that's the side.
That's the whole deck, and don't worry, we still have more. We have a post-game interview, like always on the MatteTCG channel. It's a special, so let's move on to that. Okay. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, so first of all, let's describe some of your rounds going into the regionals.
Yeah, so what we were saying earlier, by going from the bottom to the top, it was literally the bottom to the top tables. Game 1, versus Salad. He was a hella dope dude. But I just didn't have the out, didn't draw my sides, didn't draw shifter, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's part of the game.
Second game, versus Dragoon Turbo.
It's a weird deck.
It was a weird deck. For Salad, we went to game 3 for Dragoon Turbo. Unfortunately, I got 2-0'd. I took out Santa Claus from my side. Didn't see my Book of Eclipse. And I would see more engine than I did non-engine. So then he would just make Dragoon. I would ash the Red Eyes Fusion. Then he would have the cross out for the Dragoon, and it was just rough. Like, it just wasn't it. So then after that, yeah, he would just have a hand trap for my Kaimin, for my Sangan. He would always ghost my field spell, and it was just not the greatest thing to happen. But it is what it is.
The good thing is you stuck it out.
Yeah, so the first 2 rounds were so rough. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to get my invite. And I started planning in my head, okay, I should attend this event to get this invite. And then I'll just play whatever the games for the rest. And then from then on, I won every match. But then after I lost the first game, and then the second game, the third game, I saw Snake at the bottom table. I was literally the last table in the entire room.
Table
75.
Which is like the table 100.
Yeah, I was at table 75. And I saw my boy Josh there. He was playing Snake. He's a really cool guy.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, but we played it out for sure. We had a round where we just go back and forth. And again, from what I said earlier, the Typhon, I just slapped the Typhon on board and then just keep swinging with it.
With the Typhon.
But he had all gas, I had all hand traps. So then I hand trap his gas, and then it was just top decking from there. And it was a very intense game. But once we made it past that, the next rounds, I versed another Snake deck, and I was versing Dakota. Shout out Dakota.
What's up?
And yeah, it was around. Typhon then did come up, and yeah, I won both those games. And then after that, I versed Ubel, and Shifter. That's it. Shifter. I saw
Shifter does it.
So game 1 I had Mag, game 2 I had Shifter, and that's usually how it goes against Ubel. And I did have a lot of practice against Ubel. Shoutouts to Leo and Mateo for giving me those Ubel matchups. And then after that, I versed Melodious, Pure Melodious. Game 1 Ash Ostinato, game 2 Ash Ostinato. Didn't give her a single turn, unfortunately. But it is what it is. And then my very final round, I think I missed one. I don't know if I missed one or not. But at the very end, I versed VV. Thanks to my bro. Thanks to Josh. Thanks to Jag. And yeah, for giving me all the VV practice. I knew exactly what to do with every hand trap, and I knew exactly what to do with every interaction, and it was good. Shout out to my player that round. He was a really cool guy, and I hope I see you at some locals. I haven't seen him before. It was my first time meeting him, but hopefully I see him again. But yeah, so I went from the very bottom table and won every single
all the way
round
to the top.
Oh, I did miss one. It was after my Ubel matchup. It was the Tenpai Mirror. Shoutouts to my opponents in the Tenpai Mirror. They're a great person. The only time or not the only time, but the only time where it mattered where I was going first was that Tenpai matchup. But yeah, I knew how to play through it. I knew how to play through the Imperm, and yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, awesome. Any other shout outs you want to give?
Shout out Zephyr, J&J, CWG, my boy MatteTCG, Meta Junction. Shout out to everyone. I will see everyone at Matt's. That's
We're gonna be at Texas.
Yeah, so we're gonna be at Texas. Finally got my invite, and I think this is the most competitive I've ever played. I did play a lot before, but this is the point where, I got into the top at a regionals. So
yeah, congratulations to him, and we will document that. The vlog will be coming soon.
Yeah, cool.
So comment, like, subscribe. Thank you very much, and best of luck to my brother at regionals or nationals.
Nats, yeah.
And we'll be there, and hope to see you again.